Yeah. Holy fuck. That was irritating. So fucking annoying. And I'll tell you something, guys. I don't put a lot of stock into shit that like famous people say. But I do like comedians, and I do think they have a lot of funny things to say. And one time Joe Rogan said, again, take it with a grain of salt. If you don't, I don't give a shit if you don't like Joe Rogan. He's not my favorite person. I'm not one of those people that hangs off of every word he says. But I will tell you one thing that he said that I really agreed with. And he said one time, he's like, evolution. He's talking about evolution. And he says, deep down inside you can feel the caveman in you when you feel that irrational rage coming up inside you. That we all feel it, whether it's like somebody slams on the brakes in front of you, or in this case for me, when technology doesn't fucking work the way it's fucking purchased and intended. I hate bugs in technology. So I was about this far away from taking my computer and throwing it right through a fucking window. Not that I would do it, but that's how I felt at the time. And I'm just going to let the boys know that it's working. I'll tell you how I fixed it. I'm on, and it works. Mint. Okay, so the thing that annoys me the most, man, it drives me crazy when technology doesn't work. So anyways, we're gonna just riff out a bit today. I was in a really good mood. That was the other thing. It was such a good mood after work today. I was like, yeah, charged up. I finally got some real news on my wrist and what's going to be done about it. Very excited about that. Yeah, hopefully you guys are having a great day. We're hanging out with some Mercuriall audio classics. And when I say classics, I mean some of these plugins are like a decade old or more, and they still kick the shit out of the majority of this. I'm going to say majority. They still kick the shit out of a lot of stuff that's made today. Like right now, stuff that's going to come out this year, next year, even the year after that. This stuff is still really, really good at being really, really good. So we're going to go over some of the standalones, the non-amp box stuff. Reaxis, my baby Spark, SS11X, the U530. The U530 and the Reaxis, of course, have been ported over to Ampbox. The rest have not. And I have no time in my day for that. No time in my day whatsoever right now. I occasionally would like to go back and just enjoy the classics. When I say classics, I don't mean it's like these are not bad plugins. These are not poor plugins. I really wish they would do a vector UI for these old ones though. But anyways, we're here, we're chilling. And if you happen to catch the 4-second stream a little while ago, I do apologize. It was what it ended up being was this stupid. There is some weird keyboard that was installed that it reinstalled itself too, which is funny. And man, there was a time. And it was funny because this is not how I fixed it before. The same thing happened to my computer before. The same thing happened to this computer. I do believe it was because one of my cats was sleeping on the keyboard. And I try to move the keyboard out of the way now. It doesn't always work. This is kind of a cat highway to the window because they're all lazy. They like to jump up on things and not bother jumping too high. Like, whoa. You want us to jump from the floor, bro? I have a couple cats that will just happily jump up there, but a couple of them just like to tromp right through here. And so that, it happens. We might be joined by Cody today Cody from Aurora Tone Pickups. So I'm just chilling today with the Meinzinger Tempest, and we are going to go over Spark, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to get some tones happening. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you guys are as well. We're going to build chains as if we did back in the old days. You know, pre-neural DSP, when the suite became so sweet. We used to build our own chains from scratch using multiple components. And I realized that everybody in this channel, the majority of us, are all totally okay with building chains. But man, let me tell you something. If you go and head over to a couple of different user groups, boy, oh boy, you will see the real fear of doing that. What do you mean there's no standalone? Oh my God, I have to use a DAW. Somebody hold me. You know, like you can see the fear is real in a lot of these comments on a lot of these. Why isn't it in the box though? Can you take every feature from every plugin you've ever released and put it inside one box, please? You know, and there's like this fight. And now pedal plugins have become a little bit less popular, which fucking sucks, by the way, because pedal plugins are awesome. And I know that a couple of developers have reported to me that, yeah, the pedal plugins do not sell the way they used to. And that's a bummer, guys. But we're going to get to some tones now. Juicy. All right, that sounds good to me. So far, I'm in a smaller space. That's good. We're chilling today. That's it. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to close that. All right, so we're gonna get to this. This is no pedals, no nothing running into this. Stock IRs. The IRs inside here, by the way, guys, are all red wires. So if it's red wires, it's got quality, high quality. Red wires is one of the best that ever did it. Ever. And now they have since closed up shop, but they're still selling the big box. The red wires big box is still available. You guys can go get it. Tons of cabinets, tons of mics, tons of positions. No blends. You'll have to build your own blends. Get Libra from Ignite Amps and build your own blends from Redwire's goodness. I've been doing it for ages. And back when Redwires was licensing their stuff, I spent a lot of time with Redwires inside Libra, building stuff that was licensed to myself or a developer, building blends for particular plugins. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. You guys should check it out as well. But we're going to turn that off. We're going to go to our own stuff because this is the way that she used to be. I used to do everything just like this. Oh, and we got the EGA. Oh, the EGA's ready to get to work. And that is basically an untouched UI here. I haven't done anything, and it sounds good. But it's not like one of those situations where you know it's a profile because between 4 and 6 sounds good, but everything else starts to sound a little suspect. That's not the case. Oh. That's flavor country, folks. That is flavor country. We got to be careful with that present. We're going to try the 34 mod. But if you don't know how to use the 34, the 34 mod here, it's a bit of a different bird. It gets it gets pretty ice picky pretty darn quick. So you gotta be careful. If you're using a tube screamer of any kind, you gotta be real careful. It's not for everyone though. And I'm one of those people included. Some people really like that mod. I don't always like that. This is the Slash, by the way. This is the Marshall Slash. What is it? Is it actually called the AFD, or did they didn't parody that? Eh? No. Okay. I want to go over to one of my favorites here, which is the obvious choice, the 800. The particular 800 sounds immaculate. Gonna go after my traditional Marshall settings. Hi, Sam. Are you on your way through, buddy? Sam's gonna need a lift, I think. Hold on, folks. Sam's coming through. Come on, dude. Come on. Let's go, Samuel. Oh, boy. Come on, dude. Oh. The cat is saved. The cat is saved once again. Cat hair. All right. El Myers, what's going on? The Sparkminator is here. Great plugin. You're goddamn right. It is the greatest Marshall plugin that ever was, ever were. In my opinion, it's still the top skis, guys. Oh, that sounds good. It sounds really good. It does. Holy. It's so good. Let's turn on a booski. I'm on the ski train these days. It's gonna happen. All right, we're gonna turn on a little wee bit of a boost. That's not how that song. Cut the Curtains, I think that is, by Billy Talent. That dude uses some weird ass chords, man, and that's another band that I think transcended. Isn't that not the most obnoxious and just pretentious word in all of music? When a band says, anytime a band has ever said ascended, I've stopped listening to you. Like when the Black Keys said, we believe that, we kind of, they're like, what do you guys feel about being the best rock band or this? They're like, we've at this point kind of feel like we've ascended the rock label. Oh, fuck. This band couldn't get any more pretentious. Anyways. I don't remember where I was going with that. I got caught on ascended. I call myself a pretentious asshole for even saying that word. All right. All right, so we're hanging out with some Mercurial audio stuff today, and we're going to go to the screen. But yeah, sorry, Billy Talent. Billy Talent is one of those bands that definitely got past the CanCon borders. And again, if you guys don't know about CanCon, we're not the only country out there that's got this stipulation on playing X amount of music that was made in that country. Lots of countries have that. I believe the UK also has such a thing. This is why there are also many UK artists that are huge in the UK, huge in parts of Europe, but just absolutely zero push in like North America. Lots of those. Just like in Canada, there are bands that nobody outside of this country's borders gives a fuck about. And I don't care. I don't care. It's going to piss some people off that I say something is like that. But you know what? Essentially, like, these are government-funded bands. This is government-funded entertainment it's become, which is strange. That's bordering on politics, though. So I'll shut the fuck up. Anyhow, this has got 4 different Marshall amps. It's got a bass, is super bass, super lead, an 800, and an AFD. I like the AFD as long as you don't turn on that switch. The switch is not my biggest. I'm not the biggest fan of the switch, but without the switch, holy shit. Not a big fan of the Switch. I know Slash likes the Switch, but I'm not a big fan. Yeah. These are Aurora tones. This is my Mindsinger Tempest. Get off me. This is my Mindsinger Tempest, folks, and it's got the Aurora Tone Singularity and the Aurora Tone Ultraviolet in the neck. And going to be working on some stuff right now with Cody. You guys, very few of you have seen my floral Telecaster, and I'll tell the story about it. The short version is the Tallulah, as I call her, is one of my favorite Telecaster that I've ever owned. I love the guitar, something fierce. And for years, I had a set of Peter Florence pickups in it. Now, Peter, if you're familiar, Peter Florence has made pickups for everybody who's anybody, who's everybody and anybody. In the Nashville, especially in the country and blues area, his pickups are world renowned. Peter passed away very unexpectedly, and I just had Tallulah sitting on the wall. And I kind of felt, you know what, the pickups in Tallulah need to go to somebody somewhere that is going to appreciate it. So I eventually sold the pickups to the guitar player in Chris Stapleton's band, of all things. Fantastic human being. I also sent him another pickup with it, a hand wound pickup that was wound by a friend of mine, threw it in the mix, sent it out to him. I was very excited to get it to him. But then Tallulah has been sitting ever since with no real. I had a Greg Koch Fishman set in it, but Cody's making me a very interesting set for Tallulah. Okay? It's a powder blue set. When have you ever seen a Telecaster set that wasn't simply black and then chrome, black and then chrome, black and then chrome, black and then chrome? Is black bridge pickup, neck pickup is chrome, chrome lipstick. Every pickup, every single Telecaster set looks the same, with the exceptions of some of the Lindy Fralin and Lawler stuff. It can look a little different. And I think Rio Grande Pickups has also done some white Telecaster, but these are going to be powder blue to go with the powder blue floral. God, I can't fucking wait. So I'm really looking forward to that. Cody and I are also talking about a few other pickups, P90s and a few other things. He really wants to be part of what we're doing here. Going to get some more sets out here and also out to members of the creator community. We're talking to a few different players on demoing some of that stuff. So stay tuned for some more stuff from Aurora Tone. This is sounding pretty delicious to me. Gets a little bit darker. There we go. Right about there is the happy zone. Let's turn that up a bit too. Oh, that sounds delicious. All right, you want to make sure. Let's see if Cody is dropping in today. I discovered a bass preset on Rhino. It gives an octave down. Yeah, there's an octaver on that. I can't remember. I think it's the Rhino head in the middle. Gives you some octave love. Hold on, let's see what we got here. Wow. Nope. On now. Add tech difficulties. Okay. They were asking about pickups. All right. I think Cody will probably drop in. Ooh. Okay. So, guys, we're also a couple days away here from a new release from Nembrini Audio. And guess what? It'll be right here. And I'm going to be working on the project. Just in doing some AR for that project, for that release for Nembrini Audio. If you are a content creator with decent, even solid video and solid audio quality, I want, and obviously some tasteful playing. You don't have to be a shredder, but get at me, and I'll make sure that you get an NFR to create with. And Nembrini Audio is very, very cool about that. They kind of let me reach out to. Igor knows my feelings on it. I don't care about your subscriber count. I don't care about your follower count. etc. I care about the quality of your playing, the quality of your video, and the quality of your audio. If you've got some nice stuff together, even if you just got started or if you're looking to get started, get at me and I'll make sure you get some NFRs. That is not for resale, free stuff to create with, and we can get you started. Why? And I've been asked that before. Why is that? Why aren't followers and subscribers important? Of course they are. Of course they're important. But you know what? They're, in a sense, they're important for a certain push. But when it comes to just wanting to create more search history, more stuff out there, when someone goes on Instagram and puts in hashtag Numbrini Audio or hashtag developer name, it's going to populate that list. So there's going to be more for people to see. And when they see it, they're going to see good quality stuff. So that's why you got to get at me. I don't necessarily care as long as you don't have like 6 followers, preferably over 50 would be nice, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're just getting started, get at me. And there's a new plugin coming out and I'm going to be having it right here this weekend. I do believe April 1st. Is it out April? I think it's out April 1st. So let's talk about it. Now, this isn't it, by the way. Holy shit, this still sounds good. If I wasn't looking at this and there's a brand new plugin that I just tried today, and this has just been released by some developer, and this is what I was trying, I would be floored right off the bat. Yeah, buddy. Let's try that. Wow. Boy, oh boy, you gotta like it. You have to love Spark. Here's hoping for a new Mesa Mark series. Yes, that's not what's coming tomorrow, but that is coming from somebody. I can't tell you who. There is one coming though. In fact, I think there's going to be multiple Mark series amps this year. And that's just, I'm not tipping anybody off to a specific developer, but I know of a couple, and if even what I don't know about, there's a vast amount that obviously I don't know about, that and there's probably going to be more, because it seems like the Mark series amps are starting to catch a little bit of esteem. I would also say the JP, what is it called? JP2C, JP what? Tell me, basically the Petrucci amp. I think that one's going to get the treatment this year as well. That's not something I know about at all. I just have this hunch. Holy cow. I'm having a great time now. But I tell you, my computer was about 8/16 of an eagle feather. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Americans. You really do have to find it interesting how a country needed to create their entire spell things. They took U's out of stuff, and it's very interesting to me. It's like the entire world already has a measurement system, and they're like, "Nah, bro, we're gonna hang back. We're gonna create our own." It's like the U.S. and like one other country. I'm just kidding. Hey, what's going on, Cody? I messaged Cody because Elmiris was like, hey, listen, I'm going to talk pickups here. I got an RG that needs some stuff. That's not Elmiris' voice. I have no idea what Elmiris sounds like. Wow. Yeah, I was playing around playing a bit of lead last night, and I felt comfortable for the first time in a while. I've been playing enough lead and doing enough lead stuff where I'm just like, yeah, this is starting to feel all right again. It's starting to feel okay. Wow. What are we listening to here, though? Havoc. I would have known if I had just listened for a half more second. That's pretty cool that Reese Scruggs is in Machine Head now. I didn't know that until like the last second. And then I'm like, hey, is that Reese Scruggs? And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's definitely Reese Scruggs. That dude can play. I caught a lesson, half of a lesson with Reese. Well, we'll call it a lesson. When Havoc came to my town, I caught a little bit of a group lesson with Reese Scruggs. Holy fuck, that guy can play guitar, buddy. Wow. He's gonna say Leviathan. Bah! Just kidding. Depends on what you need it for. I wouldn't go for pickups just by the guitar. I would say you really need to be very clear about what you intend to use the pickups for, especially when you're talking to with a company or any company that's got a wide selection. Chances are, if you be very specific about the guitar and maybe the point of use. Thin maple neck, lacks definition, clarity. Yeah, well, I mean, every Ibanez guitar lacks clarity and definition with the stock pickups. Those of Infinity pickups or whatever they're called, they're just throw them in the trash. I would almost prefer that Ibanez gave you an option to just not buy the guitar with pickups. I'm literally just taking them out and throwing them in the trash. It seems so wasteful. Because they're I know they're all just OEM made to garbage import pickups, but I mean, if I can save $6.50 that they spent on those pickups, that'd be appreciated. That's $6.50 plus tax. Come on, I could save like $10 if you just sell the guitar without the pickups. You don't have to put strings on it either, because guess what? I'm cutting those motherfuckers off too. I don't understand anybody that can just play on stock strings after they've purchased. I watched a dude, I know a guy that bought a guitar from a local music store and then just kept on using it for a good while with those strings. I'm like, dude, a lot of people play that guitar. They test drove that guitar. Why don't you just change the strings? No, I'm going to hang on to these. I'm just going to get what I can out of them. Hey, what? There's nothing left of them. That's their guitars. Yeah. I'm not sure what to recommend, but I'm going to say I haven't used it yet, but I've heard really good things about the Leviathan. And I know that Cody he's really enjoying making that pickup right now. The Singularity, this guitar was by all means not dead at all. It just did require something with a little bit extra to the top end to combat the fact that the guitar, it's not that it's a dead sounding guitar by any means, because obviously, goddamn, but some guitars, they're just darker, and that's just it. And you need to combat the darkness of the guitar with a brighter set of pickups. It's just how she rolls. Let's go to the 800 again, and let's crank this, and let's see what we got here. That's sounding pretty good. What is it? What is it? But man, I love me some Anthrax. Tell me you don't like Anthrax. How cool would it be for Scott motherfucking Ian to have a plugin? I don't care if that plugin was $250. I would buy it. And all it had in it was his PV or EVH Stealth 34 or whatever he's got nowadays. It sounds great. You can't say that. And man, Anthrax had Anthrax had better tone than Metallica. Facts. I don't care. Fight me. Anthrax has better guitar tone than Metallica. Better guitar tone than Megadeth. Yeah, I said that too. Better guitar. And you know what? Testament had better tone than those bands too. Well better than Slayer. You fight me if you want to. I'm just kidding. I'm not one of those people that just tries to stir up the algorithm, getting negativity going in the comments. I'm not that guy. V1 and V2. Yeah, that's... Yeah, V1 and V2 pickups. Those are the Infinities, aren't they? I thought they were. Either way, no stock Ibanez pickup I've ever used had any clarity or definition. They are just cheap pickups. That's what they do. They round things off. They give you they give you everything that's in the middle. And then when you get to the low end, it gets muddy and dumpy. And when you get to the high end, it gets ice picky and unusable. And once you've rounded that crap off, it's just you can keep rounding and rounding. That's just I feel you. I feel you because I've got so many Ibanez and all of them have changed. All of them have new pickups. Every single solitary one of them. Can't wait for that Leviathan. I'm gonna put it into my average. I call it my average ass Jackson, but really, what I mean by that, it's like the middle of the road price. It's nothing special, like as far as quality goes. But it looks unbelievable and it plays so nice. It's one of the nicest playing Jacksons I've ever had, if not the nicest. And I had a KE2 that was really, really nice. And this thing just is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable instrument. But it needs a new pickup. It needs a new bridge pickup. So Cody's going to build me a Leviathan for it. Very, very excited about that because I want to try it. Just the name of the pickup makes me want to try it, to be honest. I kind of want to get one of these AFDs, like one of the one I was just on. The thing is unreal. Why has that got so much? Oh, a Loansky there. Calm down. So thick sounding. And this I'm trying to show this also the versatility of this guitar and the pickups, because like all I did was chug with it the other day, and then today we're gonna get some nice tasty jam kind of rock tones. Missed that note. Flonk! Yes, you're correct. Sorry. I've got... Which ones is his? I had two RGs come with the V1 and V2 stuff. And again... The Infinity or V1, V2, just not for me. None of it was really for me. I always really appreciated when I would get my favorite Ibanez guitars are the ones that came stock with, unfortunately, usually a poorly selected. They went with the Tone Zone too much. They went with the Norton Air too much. They went with, like, in my opinion, they could have paired a lot of those Ibanez guitars with better DiMarzio pickups, but I always really appreciated when an Ibanez guitar came stock with DiMarzio pickups, because those two brands, they go really well together as far as like stock and larger brand stuff goes. That's the ones I appreciated, but the V1s and V2s, they were never really my thing. I've got a really old RG. I've got an old RG that I'm rebuilding right now from the 80s as well. That's kind of fun. That's the Colossus sir. The Colossus is like 19.5k resistance. Leviathan, the deactivator, the invader. I don't really like the invader as I don't really dig the invader as a metal pickup. I know some people were like, I was literally, and I'm not trying to name drop by saying this, although it's kind of fun that I enjoy it. I was talking with Carl Sanders today from Nile. We get a little fanboyness there. And if I was said that to Carl, I picture him just squeezing my head until it popped. Yeah, he's a big invader guy. And a hell of a nice guy. One of the nicest human beings I've ever met for a guy that is literally in one of the biggest death metal bands, maybe, or arguably ever. Nile is definitely up in the, not quite, I wouldn't say the Mount Rushmore necessarily, but if Mount Rushmore had like 10 heads of death metal, I'd say that Nile would be like in that top 5 or 6. I don't know, depending on who you're talking to. But anyways, that tone, some people just make invaders sound really good. Like Tom DeLonge makes invaders sound so fucking good. So good. And I just don't know how he does it. I just don't. I've never been able to get the invader to really sound exactly the way I imagined it was going to sound in the guitar. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay. I mean, I think DiMarzio's doing some modern marketing. They've got a fair few modern artists. They've got Dave Davidson, arguably one of the best death metal guitar players today. They've also, he's my modern guitar hero. I don't know if anybody's going to keep catching what I'm fucking throwing down here, but yeah, he's got 2 different models of DiMarzio's now. They've got some more modern artists, but I get what you mean. Like they've definitely hung on to the older side. Just reading through, guys. Want to go Leviathans just because I'm a fan of Supernatural. Yo, Myers, you got to email me because I'll show you these amazing hand autographed, real, not reprints. But every Christmas, the last few Christmas, I've been buying the missus autographed Supernatural, from autographed characters from Supernatural. I've got, she's going to have 3. But we're going to go more. Gotta get Bobby, Sam, Bobby, Sam and Bobby. I've got Sam, but I don't have Bobby. Oh, that's driving me crazy. I can see a hair floating. No, Myers, I gotta send you a picture of that, though. Rudy, how's it going, dude? I don't know if your sets, the site is not lacking. The only thing I think that the site might be, and I've talked to you about this before, is that having the singles on there, because right now you see the sets, right? And it can be like, well, what if I want a little bit of this and a little bit of that? And so I would put the singles on there as well. But not that, singles are very much available through Aurora Tone, by the way, guys. It's not that they aren't available. It's just that, yeah. They're available. Check them out. So I'm just checking out Spark right now. Spark is like, in my opinion, the heavyweight champion of Marshall plugins. Oh, stop it. Oh, you're spoiling me. Stop it. No. I played with You'd be surprised. That song, that punk rock picking at the end there, it's not as easy as you might think. There's that little skip pick there. Well, Billy Joe probably does it all downstrokes though. I don't think I have your email. Dude, just got off work. Nice. Dude, Rudy. Rudy, I think you, I hope Cody was sitting down for that question. Rudy, you gotta, yes. Every set of pickups that Cody makes is custom, essentially. Sure, you can order the plain Jane blacks, black with the black and, all blacked out or all white or all this or any single color. But Cody loves doing himself some phrasing, folks. Cody loves doing up some nice custom pickups. And I think we've talked about it before that the more fun you have with it, the more fun he has with it. And that we're talking about a set for this Telecaster, as we were talking about earlier in the stream. Man, I'm stoked on those. Man, this sounds good. It just sounds so friggin' good. I'm going to get stuck on this and we're going to get nowhere. Man. Hold on. What happened there? I turned that down. Oh, I didn't. Sorry, guys. I always catch shit because I don't always right in to the I don't get right into the chat. Sometimes I miss some stuff, and I've got bad eyes. So I got great news today. As you guys have been following my various wrist issues. Long story, very short. When I was about 23 or 24, so I was having a something and ended up breaking my scaphoid bone. But when I originally did it, the people at the hospital took a look at a hungover, probably still half drunk asshole, wearing a white undershirt. I don't think it's not cool to call them what people used to call them. A white undershirt, and I was wearing probably a pair of Adidas pants or something, or whatever. They saw me and they're just like, let's get this fucking guy out of here. He did something dumb. Whatever. And they're like, nah, it's just a sprain. We're going to put a cast on it. You'll be fine. Turns out that wasn't the case. So the scaphoid bone is broken, and I'd show you guys my x-rays. Maybe you can actually see them. Probably not. Anyways, so basically this scaphoid bone, if you look it up on Google it, is broken in half, and it has been for a long time, and it's been trying to heal and re-breaking and trying to heal and re-breaking and trying to heal and re-breaking for 22 years. So, and I've just been dealing with it, through all kinds of different stuff. So I finally got some new x-rays, finally went to the fracture clinic, and turns out that the doctor was one of my students' parents, which is oddly and hilarious enough. Small friggin' world. And he's like, hey, I know you. And I'm like, hey, that's the guy. And so he told me basically what we're going to do. We are taking the scaphoid bone right on out. It is going to be removed. It's gone. So the scaphoid bone goes away, and all the other bones, if you look at the hand, all these bones here are going to get fused together. And I'm going to be, I don't know what we're going to do here for a couple of weeks. We're going to have to take, or a couple of months rather, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what we're going to do. I might have to do like more bass videos or something like that, where I can just kind of do this. I have no idea what I'm going to do for a couple of months to maintain order and do things here. Maybe we could do mixed streams, but that would expose the fact that I absolutely suck at mixing. So I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to do some fun stuff still, but that's probably not till the fall. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. We got to do her and finally get something figured out because it sucks. It hurts. They're starting to. Yes, Rudy. There is a multiple. It's a phase 4 SCAF. I can't remember what they called it again, but it's phase 4 out of 4. There's arthritis all up in here as a result. So things are going to get cleaned up and we're going to figure some stuff out. I could do that. I'm also going to get some guests that are going to come in once a week. My friend Phil is going to be in. I'm talking to Phil. I'm going to have a bunch of different guests. We're also thinking about doing some interviews and some things like that. And you could. That's exactly what I'm hoping for, Mark Studios. Really work on my legato stuff. I love legato playing. And I used to have some really nice runs, but I just didn't practice. And here we are. So you know what, though? Let's go for some leads. Let's dive into some leads. Why not? And see if I can actually do something that loosely resembles. Hey, you know what, though? No fucking pressure here because if it sucks, it sucks, folks. We'll see. We'll see what we got here. I could go get a groove rap, but whatever. No, see, it's just, I don't know. I freeze up. See right there, just little small things I wouldn't do if I was just practicing on the couch. Those little sticky notes. Gotta get warmed up too. We'll get there. I have been practicing, but I can't wait to do a little more, a lot more practicing of legato stuff. And just working on this hand will be fine. But man, I'm not looking forward to it, but I am. It's one of those things. And man, surgery sucks. Surgery does suck. I've had surgery a couple of times. And I don't like going under in anesthesia at all. It's not my favorite thing. Tell me in the comments, how many surgeries have you had? How many stitches have you had? That type of thing. Do you like going under? This is what we're talking about today. So we're going to move plugins because otherwise I'm going to be stuck on that mamma jamma for a long time. Now, this is one that I've showed you guys before, and this one's cheap. And it is absolutely one of the most handy plugins in existence. I use this thing a lot. This is the SS11X. Now, what I use this for is tracking a lot of the times. My scratch track will have this on it, so I can maintain the lowest amount of latency possible. This thing has 0 demands. It doesn't care. It just it runs on nothing. This is the plug-in equivalent of a Prius. It doesn't require much of anything. And I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys check it out. I don't know what the free trial situation is like these days. We're going to go to Drive. This song's kind of bumming me out. Not that it's bad, but it's just bumming me out a little bit. A little bum me out. All right, see what we got here. We're going to go straight for the gut. We're going to go straight for the lead stuff. This thing's got pedals built in. There's no power section. Obviously, it's just the preamp. But you can trick things. You can kind of trick it in the sense that you can use colored IRs is one way you could go. Or you could use the TPA one if you want a little more of that tubity oomph. But I like to use the colored IRs in this because you can hear. If you're not familiar with a colored IR, it means That means an impulse response that was shot with a tube power source. And essentially, by using the tube power source, you're baking that tube flavor right into the impulse response. And that's okay. That's the way all the old ones used to roll. And that fact, let's use one of the old ones. Let's go with the old school. Catharsis. Or you could go with God's Cab. God's Cab is all the old Conquerall from JST, a lot of the Bogren Digital stuff. And I had this argument with someone before. And he's like, no, man, they're not. They're not. There's no tube coloration baked into any of the Bogren Digital stuff. And I literally asked JSIC, and JSIC's like, yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is. We use this amp or this amp. And some of the stuff is transparent. But as far as I know, there is a fair bit of stuff from Bogren Digital that has been shot with two power sections. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to think about that when you're using, say, a colored IR that was colored with EL34s, and you're using it with an amp that is, supposed to be providing that 6L6 flavor. And you create a little bit of a confusing, it's not bad, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to be an error, but you might create something just a bit different than what you might be looking for. That's all. Time, motherfucker, time. Well, all impulse responses need to be run through a power section, but there are transparent power sections and there are non-transparent power sections. Eddie could explain that a little bit better, I'm sure. But for the moment, or you could just look it up, Google it, or there might be likely 1,000 videos right up here that explain it. Colored IRs versus transparent, and it's not a big deal. You can use whatever you like. But in this case, this plays really well. The SS11X does with various IRs. It's just always been a super fun plugin to use. It asks you for nothing and provides everything. The lead shift is nice. It's a nice little bumpski. Wham, mom. But if you want to use the crunch is also just lovely. A bit louder, isn't it? It's a bit louder, Ace. Yes, I realize it's clipping all over the place over here. Yeah. I know. It'd be cool if they put a bright on the lead as well. Dun. So essentially, crunch is giving you more of a rock vibe. If you're here checking it out here. There's clean. Why do I feel like crunch was blue? It's not. It does sound good. And it's like when it goes on sale, it goes on sale for like $20, $22. And that's why when someone tells me you need the best of the best and the newest and the greatest, it's so dumb. It's just the dumbest way. It's just such a silly way to look at things. Plugins, and I say this, and Gen Z needs to hear this more than anybody else, but plugins are not video games. They are not. They're not. They don't age like games. They're nothing else. Although I am playing Skyrim for like the 1,000 and 1,300 hours now. And if you haven't played Skyrim, what's wrong with you? little bit too basematic. Let's go with some of the onboard IRs. You guys can check out some of the stuff that's actually on board. It's pretty good, actually. They've got lots of stuff from Morton Studio. They have stuff, I believe. I don't know if all this stuff's colored or not colored. I would assume some of it is both. There's going to be a little bit of both, although I've never actually asked. Simone Hammer stuff in here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, quit, just leave me alone. Darkness. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like this plugin a lot. You can get it. It's super helpful, super handy. You just park it on a chain and use it for writing, and it does great clean tones too, which is funny. They give you a nice reverb with some reverb IRs here as well. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this plugin whatsoever. It is an absolute brick shit house, and this is a real pedal. And if you go in here, I think they made this a little bit too hard to find. Not that it's like it takes like a map, and I'm not Magellan over here, but if you go to here and you go to, we're going to go to Model A, and there's Model A and Model B. And Elmirus was nice enough to let us know what the differences actually were between the two, because I wasn't really sure. I think it was Elmirus that let us know. Excuse me. And this thing is a lot of fun, and it's under setup. All right, let's keep dicking about here. I don't really want greenbacks. Let's go with a Mesa cab. Now, if I wanted to get a little bit crazier with something like this, and if we're building change like the old school days, let's just build it. Let's build it. Let's go with the power amp plugin here. Let's put it right underneath the SS11X. Let's switch it to, let's keep it with 6L6 for now. Then I'm going to go to KTs. And then I'm going to go with some more presence. The depth will depend. Now let's see what we have. All right, now we're going to go, I got to make sure I turn off. Hang on. All right, we're back. Now I have access. It does give it a little more oomph. Go with the KTs. Turn it off. It's just, it's subtle. It's subtle, but it's not subtle at the same time. In my headphones, it's not overly subtle. It definitely gives that more of an oomph and a push, and gives you that voicing as well, which is freaking-tastic. And this plugin is just a lot of fun. I would firmly suggest this to anybody looking to upscale their guitar tone at a very low price. If you're out there and if you're on a budget, this is one of those budget level plugins. Not budget level, budget priced. So, and we're going to get rid of SS11X. I just wanted to showcase that briefly on my way to, again, this is old school, but terrific at the same time. Turn the cab off. The chorus can stay right where it is. That's no problem. And I've already got an angle cab that's ready to rip. Roughly the same cab selection in here. Now let's see what we got. I'm going to take a bath. That's a lot of information, but I appreciate you. I'm sorry that it took us an hour to figure our shit out here, guys. That really bugged me. That bugged me a lot. It did. I don't like that. And I'm sorry for wasting some of your time today, folks. We'll make it up to you in the future. We will, indeed. These things happen, but... And this thing was free not long ago. It says, this is modeled from the Engel E530. And the E530 is a one-space rack that was often paired with an Engel power section in a rack case. It has been the main voice of a lot of bands, but a lot of Engel endorsers, a lot of bands in general, made fly rigs out of the E530, and because they didn't want to bring a full head, so they would pack one of these. And it's actually a lot of backup rigs involve this. There's a few different guitar players that use the E530 as and a power amp as like a backup rig just in case. It is phenomenally versatile, and I think Obscura as well. Was it Obscura that used them full time? Man. See you around, Ton. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for stopping in. I always appreciate you dropping in. I did as well. I ran an E530 through I can't remember the name. It was a Marshall 6060, or it's the one, not Marshall. There's a Mesa. It was a Mesa power amp. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my fucking head. I didn't have it for long. Eventually, I got a Matrix, and I didn't like that very much at all. But nonetheless, the E530 is no joke. It's also one of the most modeled. There are a lot of plugins, more than you might think, out there that model this piece of gear. The X50 we had the X30 that is inside the X50 suite still to this date. It still sounds good. I think there's one inside Amp Hub. There's one inside many different mega suites. You guys, you tell me, which one is your favorite? Have you used this one? Did you grab it when it was free? I grabbed it ages and years ago now, and I've used it on lots of different things. And as I said about Spark, this could come out right now and be brand new. And it just came out right today. This could be a release stream for a plugin that sounds just like this. And we're not using any boost. I want to point out, it's pretty cool that we're not using nothing is boosting this right now. This is just that tight. We're not boosting that at all, which is nice. It's super nice that you don't always have to boost stuff. That's where I shit on Ola's settings for Tube Screamers a little bit, because he has that, and between Ola and Metalcore, people kind of got really used to putting the 0, 10, 10 settings. The 0, 10, 10 settings on their Tube Screamers. And this is one of the amps that would tell you to go fuck yourself with those settings. It would just be so ice picky. But again, you might like it. Who knows? Let's do that exact thing right now. Boost it a little bit, but let's be careful. We're not going to get crazy. Wow. That sounds pretty good to me. If you knew what that was, you'd be laughing with me and at me at the same time. Ola does studio tricks. Oh, absolutely. But there's not really studio tricks. Oh, you're going to get me into a conversation. How do I say this? There are a lot of influencers out there that are putting I like to call it gussying. They're processing certain things, although they're saying it, they're not necessarily processed, or they're just not saying anything. I think the worst example of that ever would be the original Positive Grid bias content that you saw, like a whole bunch of really big names. You might be asking yourself, what were they using in those? What were they using to? How come Positive Grid bias doesn't sound like any of those videos? No matter how hard you work, how hard you process, no matter how nice your guitar and your pickups and your DI and everything else are, your DI quality, everything else. Why is it that the Positive Grid bias, the original content that came out with that platform, why is it that all those big YouTubers made content that has features tones that no matter how good you are at mixing, you cannot achieve with that plugin? Why is that? Exactly, Sam. Exactly. Why indeed? So you can ask yourself why that might be, and I'm not going to go any further with that, but you might want to ask yourself, why is it that happened? That's one of the things where sometimes, there is some studio magic being used to maybe salvage or hide the quality in something that someone's being paid to promote. And they're tasked with getting it to sound as good as humanly possible, even though it doesn't sound that good. Guys, that is something you'll never see on this channel. Oh, come on. He ran away. Sam does not like when the other cats run and hide from him, because he's like, now you're going to come out or else I'm going to meow in the middle of the kitchen until you do. Hold on. I'm just going through. Is this still available? Which one is still available? The U530? Is that the one you're talking about? I'm not going to make any comments. Ola does know how to make some fucking amazing sounding stuff, though. I'm not accusing Ola of anything. I just say his tube screamers settings of 0, 10, 10 don't always work out. And for me, they just really never work out. I love the 177 is my jam. And then I kind of move around from there. But I don't think there's any one tube screamer setting that is just like the best or the worst. I don't know. Positive Grid mentions. You don't want to get me going on Positive Grid, because I could sit here. If I wanted to play the algorithm and get all that nonsense going in the chat, I would just pump out non-stop videos of just absolute shitting on this or that. And that's not how I want to live my life. What I'm saying, though, guys, is that yes, in most videos that you're seeing amp sim demos, you're gonna hear those dual and quad track guitars, etc. But when I'm just talking about, you're never gonna see that on this channel, though. I'm never gonna process anything to where some people will criticize and say, well, there's a little too much this and a little too much that. Yeah, because it's not processed. I don't have an EQ running here, folks. All I have is a noise gate and a bit of a nice small room verb for my ears, so I don't have to listen to dry guitar. That's all I'm doing here. We're just cooking. We're smoldering at this point. Well, thank you very much. My demo of the Dead Horse. Well, I appreciate that. I like that. I like hearing that. I like hearing that somebody bought something because of us. Our channel is here to help you and service you guys with the most affordable stuff not the most affordable, the best sounding stuff on the market. One developer that I'm really curious about, and you guys should be curious as well, is DB Quadro. We're gonna do I just got this amazing voucher from them. Their stuff is already crazy on sale, but I got this voucher that will allow me to get the stuff even cheaper. And I'm excited about that because I've heard some really good things about the DB Quadro stuff. So that's definitely something I'm going to look into in future streams. That's one developer I say is a fantastic. I've heard nothing but good things, but I haven't heard a lot because they don't do marketing really at all, apart from like some Facebook ads and stuff. Not a lot of creators are getting NFRs from that company. And I think that as a software developer, you have to do NFRs. You can fight it all you want, but if you want to get your stuff out there, you got to get the masses using it, and the masses are the creators, and people follow that buzz sometimes. So I would say that every developer should be giving out NFRs as long as the video and the audio quality and everything else is there. I think that they should do that. I don't know if DB Quadro is doing that or not, but I'm going to go and buy some of their stuff, and I'm going to check it out on the stream because it is very affordable right now. Crazy sale prices. But if you do buy something from them, let them know that we sent you. And because we're always they're a new developer to us. We haven't really dealt with them before. So it's always nice when people say, hey, I grabbed your stuff because of this or that. All right, let's get going. What's a weird philosophy? Having to give out freebies or no? I think having to give out, because software, yes, it costs you money. You're not out. It's not like you're an analog company where if you send something out for free to somebody, it is carrying you a cost. There is a cost carried to sending out because there's a cost to the materials and the potentially the labor and everything else. With a plugin, it's a little bit less. Obviously, there's the work that goes into it, but there's less of a cost. There's no real cost for like materials and such that's going to go out. So I really feel like there are some developers that just do not do NFRs. They're very, very strict about it. And that's okay. I totally don't mind that, providing they're at least going up the ranks and paying, people like Clayton King or Stay Metal Ray or Taylor Danley or Glenn Fricker or somebody, paying them their, $500, $700, $800. That's what it'll cost you to, or, for somebody, even up, it can be as more like, $1,500. If you're going to deal with someone like Pete Thorne and guys like that, it's going to be a little bit more, etc., because you're getting very professional demos, and it is going to sell you plugins. So if you're not going to go the way of, giving NFRs out to smaller creators, at least be doing your due diligence and paying the right people to make really nice demos. If you trust your stuff, that's always the way to go do it. But DB Quadro is one of those companies I haven't seen anything. If you go and you Google, or sorry, you do a YouTube search, you're not getting a lot of a search history. And I think that's unfortunate because their quality is fantastic. It is really, really great stuff. So do give them a shot. DB Quadro, DIBIQUA. Somebody type the name. Don't type the link, but just type the name. Really? I didn't know that. But that's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind that the quality is all in the... I don't mind the quality that if the two qualities are all in the IR. I don't mind that. I really don't. And I think that it really depends on you. I've been... a couple of the guys on the team here are just over the fucking moon for their Mark Series plugin. I've not used it. I've done the free trials on the Marshalls, and I was like, whoa, these are pretty smoking. So digital products, but they still, yeah, I know they still have to pay a tax. I'm not saying that there's no cost to sending out NFRs, especially if you're on iLock, because you have to pay for every NFR with iLock. It's bullshit. Fuck iLock. Fuck that company. They hacked the stuff. You're gone. You just die gracefully. There's no more reason that you should be around. Anyhow, guys, I've had a good time today. We didn't get through everything, but I had a good time. And thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. We're going to get out of here in a couple minutes. Who just dropped in? Mark Swarbrick. Sorry, buddy. I'm leaving just as you're showing up. Can you try 0 tone and 10 out of 10 volume and gain? Zero tone. I don't want to do that. Is that okay? Okay, fine. I'll do it. It doesn't really sound... Hey, you know what, though? I've been wrong before. So 0 on the tone. Sure. Let's see what we got. Not terrible. At the same time, though, I would rather roll my drive just enough to add a little bit of extra, a pinch extra cut. Tone is always going to be between 5 and 7 or 8 for me, even down as low as 4, depending on how bright the amp is. And the level's really going to depend on the guitar I'm using, the amp I'm feeding it into, and everything else. I'll like to just kind of... But again, 177 is where I kind of live my life, my starting point for a tube screamer. They have a power cab plug-in to DB Quadro, did they? Nice. Fuck iLock cat meows. Yeah, Sam's been all over me today. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy too. That's not his voice at all. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me and dealing with my technical difficulties earlier. Technical difficulties. Diddle diddle diddle. Do I dare? Do I dare? If you guys can play that song, man, good for you. But that is not a song I can play. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Even though I'm pretty decent at alternate picking, it is not, or hybrid picking and alternate picking. It's just not a song that's meant to be played by me. Brain Dad, you're chiming in. Everybody's chiming in at the end. I'm so sorry. Hey, you know what, though? I would have been done like a long time ago if I hadn't had technical difficulties, and you would have missed us entirely. So thanks so much to Cody for joining us today. Cody, definitely a member of the community now. He is now our pickup expert. He's told me what's up a few different times. And I realize how little I know about pickups when someone like Cody is around. It is what it is. I actually know a fair bit, but he knows eons and eons more than I do. So we're really happy to have Cody around and supporting the channel as well and helping with some kick-ass stuff. Do check out the Singularity. Look at this finish. If you guys can see it close enough, it sparkles. They're not just white. These are like a galactic pink and blue and all kinds of things swirling around in there. I could not be happier. And we're putting a set into my telly. We're putting a set of P90s into my big boy shack, the longboard. And we're going to put a couple of other things in a couple of other guitars. Also, Cody's going to be working on a dual rail. He currently has the quad rail Earth Crusher, which looks sick, by the way. But I really love to see and hear Cody's take on something like an L500XL. Cody, if he's still here, Cody, that's what needs to happen, brother. You got to do your take on like the Dimebucker Jupiter rail encased type dual rail. I cannot wait because the Bill Lawrence L500XL is probably, I would go ahead and say it's my favorite pickup ever made. My favorite pickup ever made. So thanks so much to Cody for being part of the community here. Thank you to Pedro and everybody else on the staff that chimed in. Really appreciate you guys. Hey, Cody is still there. Sick. Yeah, man, I cannot wait for that, Cody. I cannot wait for the first prototype of a dual rail to hit my mailbox and then to feverishly fire it into whichever guitar. I know exactly which guitar it's going to go into. Cannot wait. But yeah. Oh, he did it. He went for it. I knew someone was going to do it. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to be here tomorrow for Freeware Friday, and it's happening. We are doing a freeware stream. It is going to happen. It's going to be fun. I've already got the whole list of stuff we're going to be using. Cannot wait. Gonna chime the guitar down a few bucks because with freeware, I want to show you guys that yes, freeware and a cheap guitar can also create incredible fucking guitar tones. And that's going to be tomorrow around 4:20, 4:30-ish. Supposed to get another snowpocalypse here, and it's so heartbreaking because we just melted the last snowpocalypse. It just melted, and we still have the runoff. I just saw green grass today, and now tomorrow we're supposed to get another 20 to 25 centimeters of snow. It's almost comical at this point. So yeah, I'll be here tomorrow 4:30. Let's just say 4:30 just in case, and I'll be here tomorrow, and we'll be making some amazing tones with cheap plugins, free plugins, and cheap guitars. Gonna be a good time. I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for being here. And again, please do like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. I know I often forget to tell you guys that, so please do that if able. Not that you have to like and subscribe, but I think you guys are mostly subscribed anyways. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm just killing time till I get the song. Where's the song? Where's the song? Man, that mouse incident today made me furious. Furious. Thanks again, guys. Cheers.
Name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause we love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say